Hello Virgo, welcome to your reading for January and Happy New Year. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Please make sure you check all your placements to get a clear picture of what's going on for you at this time. As always, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate for all of you. Please take the bits that do resonate and leave the rest behind for somebody else. I'm primarily a love reader. That's what I'm going to focus on. If anything else pops up, I will address it, of course. I'm going to be freestyling your tarot spread today, starting off with some oracle cards, which are impossible to shuffle. Towards the end of the reading, I will be rolling some dice to get initials and sun signs and angel numbers for you. So make sure you stick around for that. All right. Let's see what we have for you, Virgo. We have the new Pearl. This is a brand new deck for me. I will have to refer to the book, but it's absolutely wonderful. And we have Against Nature. Oh, what a beautiful card. All right, let's get into this. All right, this is a very interesting combination because there are a lot of similarities between these two energies. When it comes to the new Pearl, it forces us to think about that little grain of sand that enters into an oyster's shell, right? That one single tiny irritant is what causes the oyster or promotes the oyster to form membranes around that irritant to make it softer, so it doesn't have to feel it, right? So it doesn't have to feel the grit, it starts cushioning it. And through that process is how a pearl is formed. So this card asks us to think about the fact that this little irritant, right, it's just one grain of sand. If we don't thank it for being in our lives, if we're not grateful for that little obstacle, we're not going to be able to reap the rewards from it, right? There's something here that has been getting in the way of, you think has been getting in the way of your dreams, in the way of your goals. This could be a person, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a health factor, it could be finances, it could be anything. A lot of planets were in retrograde in 2023. And when planets are retrograding, those are those little irritants, those grains of sand. Even if it's not the retrogrades, it could be any planetary aspect in the sky that could be affecting your birth chart negatively, right? If it's the planetary aspects, the good news is the planets keep dancing around, they keep changing. So those irritants will wax and wane, right? If it's a person that could be getting in the way of this, let's say we're talking about a career, right? It's a colleague getting in the way. Try and be grateful for that person. I know it sounds absolutely mad, but once you show gratitude for that irritant is when the rewards are going to multiply. Against Nature is quite interesting as well because it talks about impatience, right? It talks about us wanting to force and control something. Nature takes its own course, as does that pearl, right? It's about commercialization and industrialization to a very large extent. It talks about going against something that is much more powerful than we realize, whether it's nature or it's cosmic forces. It could be anything. But I feel like now is a time for you to understand that what you resist is what persists. I think the sole advice here, keeping both cards in mind, is to not fight the flow of destiny. Certain obstacles and grains of sand are being put in your path here, Virgo, that are highly irritating to you. I understand that. But they are being put in your path for a reason. Because it's almost like the universe realizes that you have the power to create something magical out of those obstacles. While if those obstacles were never there, you'd become complacent. You know what I mean? And this could apply to a relationship as well. It's possible that you're not getting along, right? There's a separation. That could be the obstacle. But separations in a relationship always trigger growth on both sides. Growth that would have never happened if everything was hunky-dory. So we will see. Let's pull your tarot. I'm using two decks today, the tarot of the light and the shadow. We're going to start with the shadow deck to see what it is that we must leave behind, and the light deck to see what we can embrace. The Three of Wands. Unsurety about the future, short-sightedness, right? And this could also talk about empty manifestation. It's possible, it's possible that some of you may have lost faith in the universe. You may have lost faith in divine forces. That's why that impatience is there against nature, right? We have the Page of Cups, which could talk about empty apologies even. It could talk about empathy and compassion taking a backseat in a situation. And the Page of Cups is very well known as one of the master manifestors in the tarot. If you're familiar with the original Rider-Waite, it represents a young person standing with a cup with a fish inside it, right? And that fish is what that page has manifested. So there's something here about you losing your cool, losing your patience. The Five of Wands, conflict, arguments, debate, not seeing eye to eye with somebody. Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck, confusion. I feel like someone changed your attitude towards life here, Virgo. Someone or something, some kind of irritant has changed your attitude towards your spirituality and your life. Exactly. I was going to talk about the reading I did for Sagittarius, I think. And instead of the Three of Wands, they had the Wheel of Fortune in that position. And that's exactly how I started this reading. Them losing faith in the universe. And there it is. It's just a double signification of the same concept. The Wheel of Fortune is the universe. This is divine forces. It's like someone's brought out the worst in you here. The Queen of Wands. Yeah. There's no gender in tarot, but the Queen of Wands, especially in shadow, can be somebody very arrogant. It can be somebody who wants to take matters into their own hands and not rely on anybody. It can be someone who dances to the beat of their own drum. It is my way or the highway kind of energy. It's almost revolution for revolution's sake. It's a rebellion that is stemming from frustration. The Ten of Wands, carrying too much, carrying too many burdens. There's a lot of frustration here, Virgo, but thankfully, it's what we're leaving behind, right? The Five of Swords, short-sightedness. If this was a relationship for you, Virgo, I feel like all of these empty promises, false starts even, is what's got you stuck in your head. And the Queen of Cups in the shadow with the Nine of Pentacles. And as a result, I feel like your heart has taken a backseat. The Queen of Cups is a card of unconditional love. But I feel like your heart has shut down because it's so severely disappointed. This irritant could be loss of faith in love. This irritant could be this particular person who made you lose faith in love and the universe. You've shut down. I'm not going to dwell on this. Let's get the light out and we'll expand on that. You see? You may have lost faith in the universe, but the universe hasn't lost faith in you. And the Lovers is here suggesting just that. That love may have exited your life, at least temporarily. But energetically, it's still there. It's still there for you to tap into. There is love around you. Let's get one more card for this. The Ace of Pentacles. Wow. This is one of my favorite aces. The Ace of Swords can be a little cold. The Ace of Cups can be a little wishy-washy. The Ace of Wands can be pure passion. But the Ace of Pentacles is solid. It's a seed that it's never going to be dormant. It's always a viable seed that, once taken care of, will grow into a beautiful oak that will protect you and shade you for the rest of your life. This is an offer. 5 of Swords, 3 of Cups, Knight of Swords, 6 of Cups. And most likely this is coming from the same fool who was giving you empty promises in the past. The Ace of Pentacles in the light is far from an empty promise. And a lot of you may still be concerned, because I see the 5 of Swords again, even in the light. It can be a concerning energy where you feel it's empty. They're not going to follow up. I think it's different this time. You may have lost your patience, right? It's like you're failing to believe this person. 7 of Cups. Let's get one more. The Ace of Wands. 2 aces. It's possible that this person may approach you just with passion, right? This Ace of Pentacles may not rear its head immediately. They may approach you with passion. And that can put you in your head as well, making you wonder if that's all they're after. I'm going to get one more here. The 2 of Pentacles. And this 2 of Pentacles is you. This is your energy. I don't think it's the other person. I feel like you're not going to be able to make a decision anytime soon. The 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is the energy of your heart running a cross-country marathon and finally being able to rest at the finish line, right? This is 11-11. This is a card of uniting with a person, of building a home with a person. But I feel like while this person may have reached the finish line, you're still running. 6 of Swords. The universe may be wanting to steer the ship towards the lovers, right? For the 2 of you. But I feel like you're the one who's going against nature. I'm not blaming you here. I'd probably do the same thing. The Queen of Wands. I feel that the path that you are charting out for yourself now can be very conducive to your growth. It can be very inspiring to you as a person. It can bring that fire and passion back within your own spirit. But I feel like I can't shake that you're running away. We have the Emperor. The Emperor again is the number 4. This is the 4 walls of a home, the 4 seasons, the 4 cardinal directions, things that are very unchanging. I feel like this person is very unchanging in your life. I see that square again. The number 4 could be very important to you. And I see 3 right here. The 6 of Swords keeps showing up at the bottom of the deck, almost like you don't want this. The Page of Swords. You're being kept an eye on. I'm going to tell you that much. Whether there's a separation or there isn't, after all that shuffling, 4th time, 6 of Swords at the bottom with the 5 of Swords. Getting once bitten, twice shy, but this person is keeping an eye on you. Even if you're not on social media, energetically, those ties have not been severed. The 2 of Wands. With the 10 of Swords. I need this to stop showing up. You're running away, Virgo. You are running away. The 10 of Swords is a very painful energy. This is karmic lessons, right? It's rock bottom even. And I feel like the pain was unbearable. And you're worried that it's going to keep showing up again like it did in the past. The Wheel of Fortune talks about repetition even. But let me tell you, if this is a twin flame or it is a soulmate and your contract isn't over with this person, you will be going against nature by running away from it. I will always, always, always ask you to protect yourselves. I'm not saying go back to a toxic situation or anything that made you upset. But even if it takes 20 years for that contract to fulfill, this person is energetically still going to be tied to you, whether you like it or you don't. And I feel like they will be. That's that irritant, right? That irritant is going to stay within that oyster shell, within your life, till you form a pearl around it. That is when the contract closes. Whether that is proper closure of separation, true separation, or it is a coming back together. But running away is not going to cut it. Oh my God. I was just going to say, I hope I don't see the Six of Swords again at the bottom of the deck. And it was the first bloody card. Okay, at least we won't see it at the bottom now. I was getting sick of it. Would you look at this? I think this is the first time they've come up together in a reading for January. I knew I was making sense when I was talking about soulmates. This is a divine match. It's a divine connection, my friend. Whether you like it or you don't. And you can run away temporarily while you work on yourself. But that's not going to be for too long. Seven of Wands, you can put that wall up. Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Sun with the Death card. And the Seven of Swords. I don't know why I shuffled. But I don't think you can escape this. It will be going against nature, Virgo. You will not be able to escape this. I know that sounds like a threat, but sometimes the universe works in very mysterious ways. It sends irritants after us even when we're really tired and we don't have the capacity to create a new pearl. And sometimes the universe can seem highly sadistic. This is a very unusual reading. I have the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. The good thing is, you have three aces on the table in the light. The good thing is that there's an honest adult conversation that is due to be had. And it will be. It will be had. This isn't just sunshine and rainbows and puppies. There is an honest adult conversation on its way to you. And that is going to help you understand what to do in the situation. The Ace of Swords doesn't carry empty promises. It carries the truth. Whether you believe it or you don't, in the light, it carries the truth. Now that Mercury is going to be moving direct on the 2nd of January, communication will become a whole lot easier and a whole lot truthful. So do with this what you will, but this is a divine pairing. All right, we have Uranus, and interestingly, Taurus right before you got this as well. And I was on a rant about how Uranus has been in Taurus and it's been retrograding for a bit now, and it's going to be moving direct on the 27th of January. Once Uranus moves direct, the outbursts that we may have been prone to, the surprises, unhappy ones that have maybe followed us around for the last few months, that's going to come to an end. Uranus can be very unpredictable, but when it's retrograding, it can be even more unpredictable. Now, the unpredictability of Uranus is going to be a little more bearable, right? We have the number 7. If you have been seeing 777 a lot, it talks about luck, about wonderful things a lot of wonderful things happening around you. It can also talk about you very carefully picking your spiritual path, your true node, your north node. And the number 7, house number 7, talks about commitment. It talks about contracts. It talks about marriage. So there is a spotlight on your 7th house right now, Virgo. And if things are exceptionally difficult, it's because they're supposed to be. It's because this is what you're supposed to focus on right now. Then we have Gemini. You could have Gemini heavily in your chart. You could be dealing with somebody who doesn't have to be. But Gemini is ruled by Mercury. I did speak about Mercury going direct. Gemini also rules the third house of communication. This is that Ace of Swords right here. So I would look forward to this, because I feel like a lot of you may have felt like you were sitting in the dark with no clarity. That's going to change. All right, let's see what initials we have. I have left no space for myself here. We have the letters N, F, L, D, K, L again, and the letter X. These could be your initials, they could be the initials of someone you're dealing with, doesn't have to be, but just a special mention for those of you who've seen your initials here today. All right, Virgo, slightly strange reading, but I hope this helped. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.